Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today I am going to be sharing some meals that I ate on the Starch Solution. You could use these for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and I'm going to be sharing 5 or 6 recipes with you that work well with the Starch Solution. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the Starch Solution, I can type a little bit about it down in the description box below, and I will link the book. It is based on the work of Dr. John McDougall, and you essentially are eating a high-carb, low-fat diet. Of course, it is a vegan diet, and you are taking unnecessary additives out of your food, such as oils, salts, sugars, and things like that. So essentially, it is earth to mouth, is how I like to describe it. This diet is totally customizable to your lifestyle. So if you do have any questions about it, just drop it down in the comments below and I can answer them as best as possible. I am not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian, a nutritionist. This is just what I've been doing to make me feel mentally organized. I also am really feeling my best self physically. I can run back and forth with my kids. I can go up and down the stairs when I need to, and I have the energy in the morning to hang out with a 2.5-year-old and an almost year-old. So I'm super excited about that. It took about 3 weeks and I'm just feeling back to my normal self. I'm not really feeling sluggish or anything, so I was really excited about that. And then also I did want to touch on the sugar part of it. I do eat fruit, but I don't add any added sugars to any of my meals. There might be a few grams of sugar in some of like the sauces that I get pre-jarred, but there's not a lot that I can do about that because I still want my food to be flavorful. If you are new here, hi, hello, my name is Tori. I am a wife, mother of 2, and we live in Colorado. And we like to do recipe videos, cooking, cleaning, anything motherhood related, and we would love it if you became part of our YouTube family. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Please remember all of these recipes will be typed out in the description box down below. And if you are excited, let's get right into these recipes. To kick things off, we are doing some sushi and salad. If you are new here, this is a big staple in my kitchen. I love sushi, and the great thing about the Starch Solution is that you can eat however much you want. You are supposed to eat until you are satiated, which was something that I found really difficult on other diets. I couldn't find something that would keep me full. So I was really excited to find this one, and this is super clean sushi. All you're gonna need is some white rice, some mango, asparagus, cucumber, and green onion. You could really put anything into this sushi. I'm gonna dip mine in some low sodium soy sauce. I would put wasabi on it if I had it. I just don't have any. And then for my salad, I'm just serving up some spinach and a little bit of arugula. And then the dressing that I use is a ginger dressing. There is soybean oil in there, so if you are completely oil-free, you can find an alternative, but I just really enjoy this dressing, and a few teaspoons is not going to hurt your diet here. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. So give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me breaking. You're sweet. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Ooh, baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger, but don't you try to call me tomorrow. There's nothing personal in having a little fun. You wait and see if it's worth your while. So give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me break it. The next recipe is pasta. Now, if you would have told me you can eat pasta on a diet, I would have called you a liar. I am using whole grain pasta. You can use whatever kind of pasta that you like. I'm going to serve it on some arugula with some marinara sauce. My marinara does have olive oil in it, so find one without any oil in it if you need. I believe Whole Foods makes a marinara with no oil in there. And then I'm going to top it with some hemp seeds and some fresh fruit. So this is the sweet tooth sugar that I was telling you about. This definitely satisfies my cravings, and I can even pair it with a glass of wine, and I don't feel guilty at the end of the night. So this is going to serve me up one serving here. I'm going to top this with a little bit of zucchini just because I needed to use it up. And this kept me full for the entire night. I didn't need a nighttime snack or anything, and you should definitely try this. It's so simple and so delicious. Next up is going to be this black bean tostada recipe. I am serving it with some fresh fruit yet again, and we are going to be using some corn tortillas. I tried it, not the biggest fan. I'm going to switch back to my tried and true flour, but this is going to be the filling. You're going to need some bell pepper, red onion. I cooked potatoes in the beginning of the week. That was part of my meal plan, and I knew I was going to use a bunch of them, so I baked an entire bag of potatoes. So they are already baked, and I'm going to throw some kale in there. I'm just going to make sure this is nice and crispy, season it nice with a little bit of water, and then I'm going to move on to my refried black beans. So I have a whole can of rinsed black beans here. I'm going to throw in some green onion as well as some lime juice. You will see that my toddler loves black beans. He calls them lil beans, and he is always trying to steal them. So you are going to also need to put in some seasonings. I was just waiting until he had a little bit, but you're going to need some garlic powder, some onion powder, cumin, and chili powder, and then you are going to mash this up with the back of your fork.
Some luck in the book. I don't give a what so say. Finally got my friends in the back of my roller. We gon' make it big one day. We gon' make it big, I say. We gon' make it big, just stay in there. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment with me. Give you a moment. Give you a moment with me. Smell all the roses.
Ended up having a corn tortilla casualty. I am just not a fan of eating burnt tostadas, so I ended up tossing it and having 2 plates of these. So I just am assembling my tostadas. I put these in the toaster like you saw, got them nice and crispy, and now I'm putting on my black bean dip as well as the filling. I'm going to serve mine with some fresh tomato and green onion, and then a little bit of hot sauce as well as some fresh fruit. Next up is going to be this roasted red pepper couscous with some potatoes. I am going to end up roasting some tomatoes as well as some potatoes. I have some bell pepper here, and this is one of those exceptions where I am using oil. I'm using coconut oil. I put in some pepper and garlic powder, and I'm just spreading it not too generously across all of my veggies. I'm going to bake these at a low 325 for around an hour. The house smells delicious after this, just a warning, but I wanted everything to get nice and gooey and super tasty because you are actually going to be blending all of this up except for the potatoes. So you're going to grab some fresh basil as well as some garlic, salt, pepper, and a little bit of water just to thin it out, and you are good to go.
I once felt I'm done with the defense. Drove back and climbed over your fence. Had to show you that.
So I ended up adding some of this So Delicious coconut creamer. There's no sugar in here anymore, which is awesome. And it's just like a vegan form of half and half at a cheaper price point. I found this for $3.49 and you get quite a bit for the amount that you're paying. I ended up blending this all together and I prepared my couscous, and then I took my potatoes, put those on top of my couscous, and then put on my roasted red pepper sauce. I topped everything with some fresh oregano and I was good to go. Generally, I like to serve this with a green, but I just was not that hungry today. Next up is going to be this toast here. If you saw my last video, I'm kind of hooked on the nectarine bruschetta ricotta toast, so I wanted it again. I served it with some of this balsamic onion, I don't know, compote, whatever you want to call that, but I just wilted my onions down. And I'm going to do one toast with tomatoes and the other toast with some nectarines. I'm going to use some of that Tree Line vegan cream cheese. I promise you this is so good. It's just like garlic and herb spreadable cheese. And then I toasted up some sourdough. I'm going to serve it with some fresh broccoli and some more nectarines and a little bit of hemp seeds. I ended up having 2 plates of this and it was amazing. I was so happy that I found out on this diet that you can eat as much bread as you want, which is a big staple in my diet. Saved the best for last because I am honestly blown away. I've never made this before. I just made it up on a whim and I am pleasantly surprised. This is going to be some poblano cheesy rice. So what you're going to need is your base. You're going to need some carrots, onions, and potatoes. You're going to put in 8 ounces of water. And then to your blender, you're going to put in some roasted chilies here. I'm using some Anaheim. You could use green chili. You could use poblano peppers, really whatever you want. And to keep it a little bit low on the fat content, I'm actually using white beans. You could use cashews if you wanted. I'm going to throw in some veggie bouillon as well as some garlic, some onion powder, some pepper. And then I'm also going to put in a little bit more water as well as some of that vegan Tree Line cream cheese. I'd say a half teaspoon. And then to get the tang of real cheese, I am just squirting in some lemon. So now that these are all fork tender, you're going to throw that in the blender as well. And then add a pinch of salt. You're going to blend that together till it's smooth and you're just going to serve it with whatever rice that you would like. I topped mine with green onions and tomatoes and a little bit more salt, and I was blown away. This is so amazing. This tastes just like a pepper cheese dip. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Please let me know if you try this in the comments down below.
Just got up, something's wrong. I waited up with wounds on my feet. Where will you be? Flickering through memories, the Polaroids yellowed in the sun, longing to be seen.
Alrighty, my friends, that is going to do it for today's video. I really hope you got some inspiration to eat some whole foods this week. If you have any questions about any of these recipes, go ahead and drop that down in the comments and I will answer them as soon as I can. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative, and I will see you next time, y'all. Bye.
Freezing outside.